Good morning, ladies and gents. I'm Jessica Van, and this is your pleasure point. So, today is Valentine's Day. Woohoo! This is the time of the month where we start to talk about all things lovey dovey and relationship. Not today. Not going to do it. So, before we get started, I just want to say, what were we doing before technology? Yesterday, I was completely without phone and internet for it's gonna be a long time. It's gonna be a long time. But the first 12 hours were hellacious. Um, I realized everything is on my calendar that's in my phone, and I thought, look, this will be an easy breezy day because I can use my computer. Wrong. Not without your phone Wi-Fi, you can't. So, you know, we have got to show appreciation for the technological advances that have been made in our culture. I realize this is a first world problem, but man, it's a big one. It's a big one. So, anyway, it's Valentine's Day, and we are talking self love. Yep. So, I thought long and hard about what I wanted to do, and I didn't want to do the typical Valentine's Day post. I even thought about talking to you guys about intimate partner violence, which is very important and has its time and place. But I thought today would be appropriate for love, self love, and what that means for you. So, where are we going to start? Well, we're going to start with the Venn diagram. Yep, that's right. My favorite tool to use, especially with my couples, the Venn diagram. Okay, so I'm sure you're all thinking, what in the hell does a Venn diagram have to do with self love? Well, it is just a nifty illustration for me to show the intersection between you and your partner. Oftentimes, when we get into relationships, we can lose ourselves in that relationship. We become so much about making our partner happy that we forget to make ourselves happy. And I am going to just use the words of Pastor Michael Todd and say, may I submit to you, your unhappiness in your relationship is not a relationship problem, it is a singleness problem. Yeah, you haven't worked on yourself as an individual. And that is really important when you get into a relationship. I'm sure you guys have all heard the saying, oh, that's my better half. But truth be told, 1 + 1 is 2. And a relationship should consist of two fully formed individuals. So today I'm just going to give you some tips of things that you can work on to improve your singleness if you're in a relationship. If you're not in a relationship, now is the perfect time to work on being single. Work on identifying who you are as an individual and what love and self-love mean to you. Okay, so as you can see in this very simple Venn diagram is there's you, us, and me. And everything outside of the orange is your singleness. That is where you develop yourself as an individual. This is where you get familiar with what love means to you, how you give and receive love, and what self-love looks like for you. Because, stealing from another icon, in the words of RuPaul, if you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you going to love somebody else? And a lot of people are probably thinking that right now as they get all swept up into this greeting card holiday. I actually have said, and this is kind of jokingly, that my husband and I don't celebrate Valentine's Day. In fact, it is the one day of the year where we are like repelled from one another and encouraged to do our own thing. And even though, like I said, it's a joke, it is really holding a lot of weight for me now as an older adult, well, in my mid 30s, because as parents, we get swept up not only in each other, but we have added circles to our Venn diagram. We have that of our daughter and our son, and a lot of couples can relate to that. So here are those tips. My first tip for getting to know yourself and developing your self-love is be spontaneous, especially if you're a single individual. If you're single, and not accountable to anyone, now is the time for you to go out and do things that feed your soul. Get to know who you are. And in order to get to know who you are, I often recommend journaling, either like freestyling it, just writing whatever first comes to your mind, or doing some guided journals that ask you some questions and cause you to take a look inward and be reflective of who you are and what you want out of life. Another thing is to travel. My God, please, if you are single, take the opportunity to travel, because once you have kids, finding somebody to watch your children for a whole week, that's like doggone near impossible. So take the opportunity to travel. The perfect way to reconnect with your partner is to do so outside of your house, where you're not into that everyday routine, and you can kind of do things just on a whim. Especially, you have room service and you have people cleaning up after you. You don't fall into, oh, we're together, but we're folding clothes, which I would love to say I do a lot with my husband, but it's really me watching him do it. And he's so awesome because he doesn't argue with me about it as much anymore. But, we fall into the routines and we really aren't, feeding each other or ourselves for that matter. So you guys have heard me say this one a couple times: reflect, reflect, reflect. What do I mean when I say reflect? Basically, take time out to step outside of what you're doing and look back at your actions. Ask yourself, did what I did today make me happy? Did what I did today make me a better person? Is there room for improvement? And if there is room for improvement, that's fine. We all have areas where we need to build, but don't criticize yourself too harshly. Just think about small changes that you want to make that's going to help you to get on to the next thing. And after you reflect, if you find that some of the things you did in that day didn't make you happy, well, take up a new hobby. Get to learn new skills. Is there something that you could be doing that's going to add to the joy you have as an individual? Learn to be alone. The biggest part of working on your singleness is remaining single. Don't let social media trick you into thinking that you have to be with someone, because you don't. An unofficial poll, I would say about 60% of people who are coupled off, married, what have you, regret not taking the opportunity to be by themselves. What does being alone teach you? Well, it teaches you that your happiness is not hinged to someone else. You can make yourself happy. And in fact, it's a requirement. You have to make yourself happy. You are responsible for your own happiness in a relationship or out of a relationship. No one can make you happy but you. In addition to that, sexually, explore your sexual being. You are also responsible for your own pleasure. So you can't necessarily blame your partner if you don't get there, because your focus was not on you. So being alone really allows you time with your thoughts. And yes, that can be a scary place for some people sometimes, but it allows you just to really think about who you are. And adding someone else to that sometimes will complicate it. You, again, lose yourself in that moment. Be alone, be single. It's totally okay. Even though we live in a day and age where you get shamed at a certain age for not being in a relationship, trust me, if you haven't taken the time for yourself, you may not be that happy in that relationship after all. And finally, guys, enjoy the freedom. Enjoy the freedom and say yes to whatever comes your way. Take advantage of opportunities, no matter how big or small, because it could open up a number of doors for you. You can meet new people, go new places, have new experiences. If you are in a season of singleness, this is also the season of yes. Now, this doesn't mean burn yourself out and burn the candles at both ends and doing this, that, and the other. Be selective, of course, but the world is your oyster. You can do whatever you want. Trust me. Every now and then, I'd like the opportunity. Guys, it's Valentine's Day, and you're going to see people all booed up either in real life or in social media world, which really just means they're just posting because they want you to know they got something. But don't feel down about it because you have a gift as well, and it is the gift of singleness. All right? Take advantage of it, and don't let anybody shame you for buying your candy on the 15th, okay? I plan on being there too. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day. Oh, don't forget, Love and Lust is on sale until the 16th. Make sure you go ahead and pre-order yours, so if you are single, you can take the opportunity to color. And if you boot up, use it as a little foreplay. All right, guys, have a great day.